What's going on, guys? I'm Dan. This is Scented Waters, and today is the last video that I'm making on this 4-part series on do's, don'ts, and need to knows when it comes to fragrances. But before we go any further, how about you hit that like button and subscribe? Don't forget to hit that bell. The last subjects that I'm going to be highlighting will be clones, imitations, and inspirations, longevity, wearing, and also compliments. First topic, clones, inspirations, imitations, interpretations. Not all of us can buy the full-priced original scent. That being said, I have looked for imitation. For example, Creed's Aventus, high dollar. I can't spend that type of money on those type of fragrances, close to 500 bucks. Even at discounters, it's still pretty expensive, way too expensive for me. So I go out to find an imitation. There are many imitations, there's many inspirations, there's many clones of Creed's Aventus and other fragrances, but the one that has caught my attention and I have found my replacement for, not really replacement, but the one I like the most, because I have smelled Aventus, I've had decants of and samples. It's a great fragrance. The house that I have turned to for their clone of Creed's Aventus is from Parfums Vintage, Pineapple Vintage Intense. I spoke about this bottle way too many times. It just shows you how much I like this fragrance. This one is like my best compliment getter. The one I like the most, I compliment it a lot. Another clone, Club de Nuit Man Intense. There's Dua, Poseidon's Elixir 13ZZ, I think it's called. There's a whole bunch of other clones of that one. And you got to understand, there's clones of many other fragrances that are popular, other fragrances that are high dollar that we just don't all want to spend that money. Majority of clones and imitations are usually of lesser quality, of poor performance, but not all. Some clones and imitations are just horrible performing. But this one, Pineapple Vintage Intense, it's a great performer. I think it even performs better than the Aventus to me, at least on my skin and my wearings. Unless you just want and have to have that exact bottle, the exact brand, then you go for it. By all means, if you got the money, spend it. But for me, unless it's gonna be a gift or I can find it at a good price, I'm going for the clone. Another good reason to have a clone or imitation is this: let's just say you already have the original bottle of Creed or whatever. I keep on referring to Creed, but because that's just the most common fragrance that's out there and most popular. But let's just say you already have a bottle of Creed Aventus and you have an imitation that smells pretty close. Not all the times you want to like spray on that high dollar fragrance and waste it. Sometimes you can just use the cheaper one and feel less guilty, and that just prolongs the one that you spent so much money for, or the one that was a gift, the one that you just adore a little bit more. There are many clone companies out there that are just making a name for themselves, like Dua, Alexandria, Parfums Vintage, and so on and so forth. There's many of them out there. Get your nose on some, get your eyes on some. I'll leave the links in the description area to some of those websites. Second topic, longevity. When applying fragrance, just to get the best longevity out of a fragrance, you got to apply it to fresh, clean skin, moisturized skin at that. After a fresh, clean shower, put on some non-scented lotion and then spray on your fragrance. Spraying when your body's already sweaty and after a long day. Sometimes I understand, I do that as well. But when you have that barrier of oil on your skin, it's just not gonna last long. If you have all that dirt on your skin, it's just it's gonna change the scent of the fragrance, because you're gonna have whatever body odor you already have mixed with this fragrance. And also keep yourself hydrated, drink lots of water, moisturize yourself, just stay hydrated. Use non-drying soaps out there that just dry your skin. You got to find some with some type of moisturizer in it. Use lotion. Depending on the temperature of the environment that you're in also determines how long that fragrance will last on you. If it's beaming hot, it will burn off your skin. It'll smell great for that amount of time that the sun that is on you, but it won't last as long. If you're more in a temperature controlled environment, it'll prolong that scent. Another thing that helps with longevity when it comes to fragrances is spraying onto your clothes. When it comes to your skin, after trying all those other things and it still doesn't last as long as you like to, there's fragrance primers. There's Canvas and Concrete. It's a fragrance primer. This one, what it does, it just leaves a barrier on your skin, and you just let it spray it onto your skin, let it dry a little bit, then spray your fragrance on top of it. After you spray that Canvas and Concrete on your skin, you let it dry a little bit, and then that spray the fragrance that you want on top of that fragrance, and then it should help it last at least a couple more hours. When it comes to Canvas and Concrete, not only does it help prolong a fragrance, it also creates a barrier to your skin where you can smell the actual scent of the fragrance that you're spraying onto you. What I mean by that is that when you spray it onto a test strip, you smell a certain fragrance. When you spray it onto your skin, it smells a little bit different. This creates a barrier where it pretty much gives you the same scent that you had on the test strip, minus your body chemistry. So that's another thing. If you're into what the fragrance smells like before it's on your skin, this helps. Third topic I want to highlight is wearing a fragrance. A lot of men out there don't understand the power of a fragrance. A fragrance, a scent, a cologne, a perfume, a parfum, it will help you a lot. Trust me, it actually helps you with first impression. It helps with compliments. When it comes to wearing a fragrance, you got to understand that you can't overspray a fragrance. If you overspray a fragrance, it won't give you the reaction that you want by overspraying it. Sometimes by underspraying as well. I feel that when you get a fragrance, you got to start off light, then move up and find the happy medium that works for you. Do not overspray. So start off with 2 sprays. Then after that, if that doesn't get you the reaction that you want or the longevity you want, then 3. Try different locations. Places that I like to spray would be right by my wrists, right by the crease of my elbows, behind the ears, right by my neck, depending on how I feel. And then if I want to feel a little bit more adventurous, on my clothes. But it also depends on the fragrance. Not every fragrance you can spray that many sprays. There are those super strong fragrances that you can only spray once or twice and that's it. There are still some of those super light fragrances that you just need to overspray, and really doesn't matter how much you spray, you won't offend anybody. So when wearing a fragrance, you got to understand that happy medium and what you can and can't overspray. Another mistake that I see people do is rubbing the fragrance. After you spray it on yourself, you rub the fragrance. Big no-no, because when you rub the fragrance, you're breaking up those molecules. You want that fragrance to settle in onto your skin, let it do what it do, and just let it set it and forget it. And the last thing I want to highlight, which a lot of us wear fragrances for, is for this reason, is compliments. When it comes to compliments, when I say a fragrance gives me a whole bunch of compliments, results will vary depending on where you live, how much you spray, the type of fragrance, the timing of when you wear these fragrances. What might work for me in my environment might not work for you if you're in a super cold environment. You got to think about the time and place. You can't spray a gourmandish type fragrance that is mainly suited for nighttime and cool weather in the heat of the summer. That's pretty much just going to be like a no-no. You can do whatever you want, but just don't expect a lot of good compliments. You might get a lot of feedback as in you smell horrible, but once again, you got to find the time and place to wear these fragrances. You probably won't get compliments if you underspray the fragrance. If you just spray one fragrance, it might be great for you, but yet if no one can smell it, how can they compliment you? That's what I mean by find that happy medium. What works for you? Start off small, 1, 2, then go a little bit bigger, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do whatever you got to do. Just don't overspray. And the bigger point that I want to address when it comes to compliments, are you approachable? What do I mean by that? Do you have a mean mug? Are you always walking around with a mean face? Do people want to talk to you? Do people often talk to you? If you are the type of person that does not associate with people, do not conversate with people, socialize with other people, then people aren't really gonna want to come up to you and tell you how good you smell, unless they're weirdos and just really don't care. I don't want to walk up to someone that just looks like they want to kill everybody. If I'm always mean mugging, I can't expect someone to come up to me and tell me I smell good. I'm not approachable. The best thing that you can wear when you're going outside is a smile. Last thing I want to highlight is, before you expect the fragrance to bring you in compliments, you need to work on yourself. You need to boost up your confidence first before you have that fragrance work for you. If your confidence isn't up, if you are always in a down mood, you got to find something to boost up your own confidence. Before other people boost you up by giving you compliments, you need to find a way to make yourself happy. There are fragrances out there that help boost up our moods. That is a fact. You just gotta find it. Before the fragrance works for you, work for yourself. What I mean by that, clean up your image. If you are always wearing the clothes you wore last night, and it's dirty and it stinks, and try to spray fragrances on there, that doesn't really work. If you're out there wearing fragrances and expecting compliments, you gotta clean yourself up. You got to wear cleaner clothes, bathe, brush your teeth, become approachable. Clean yourself up to reflect where you want your confidence level to be. So that's it, guys. That's video number 4 when it comes to do's, don'ts, and need to knows when it comes to fragrances. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about these 4 videos. If you even watched them, if you haven't, go back and watch them. Let's chat it up a little bit. Give me some ideas, things that I missed, things I could have added, or even just good wishes, bad wishes, whatever. Let me know. At the end of the day, guys, it's just scented water.